fantastic. That's fantastic. Busy as usual. Just the way you like it.
But I try to slow it down to
Yeah. Completely understand that. Completely understand that. You like it fully remote, like to be able to do it all at home? Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're glad to have you back for another edition of Family Matters. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Pius Yukiri, and today we have a very interesting topic. But there's only one person that can guide us on this topic. Our very own Dr. Apostle Erus. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Pius. Thanks for having me here, and always good to see you, Pius.
You're the one that the people come to see.
No.
Honestly. It's a pleasure to be here with you, honestly. As per usual, we have a deep topic. But before we get into that, Apostle, how was your week?
Week is starting well. Busy, but starting well.
Exactly.
To God be the glory. This is tomorrow is the end of the month of April.
Yep.
So I'm expectant that all that God has for me, for us as a church,
Yes.
that everything will come in.
Exactly.
All the testimony, the change of stories, everything is going to come in before the end of the month.
Before the end of the month.
That's my prayer. That's my expectation. It's my desire. That's it.
That's amazing. We started this month with so much knowledge, so much prayer, and now coming to the end is the time to reap what we have. So all the blessings, all the heartfelt messages we sent to God.
Yes.
Finally reaping the joy of it. That's amazing. Honestly, now that a new month is coming, do you see it as a begin with a new message, or you just see it as a new opportunity?
It's new opportunities.
New opportunities.
You know, it's just like something to refocus, a reset.
A reset again.
In the big picture.
Exactly.
You know, it could be a month where you can, in your plan, you have new goals, new dreams. Okay, you know, that in the month of May, this is what I want to do, you know.
Exactly.
So it's a time to reset.
A time to reset.
The reset sometimes don't mean abandoning the past. You know, for us, for instance, the month of April is our month of change of story.
Yes.
It doesn't mean in May you shouldn't expect a change of story. It's a continuation, but it just gives you something to focus on.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it makes you focus on a particular thing.
Exactly, yeah. It's not like you're getting rid of it, you're building on it.
You're building on it.
Exactly.
You're building
expanding
on it.
Yes,
exactly. You're building on it.
Do we already, have we announced here what's...
No.
Still...
We always bring it out the first day of the month.
Exactly.
You know? We bring it out fresh.
Exactly.
From the oven.
Fresh is exactly.
Very fresh. Very fresh.
Thank you so much, sir. And once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Be sure to like, share, and comment as we are getting this show started, this new episode started, because we have another amazing topic. Another great topic that I feel like a lot of people are going to benefit from. We're talking about one of the biggest wealth builders in America, in the U.S.?
In the world.
In the world.
Exactly.
Something that I believe every millionaire is involved with.
Everybody.
Everybody's involved with.
Everybody that, you know, is the best way to retain wealth.
Best way to retain wealth.
If that makes sense.
Wow.
Is the best way to retain wealth. Yes.
Can you imagine that? Best way to retain wealth. And
that is why everyone that is wealthy has it. They use it to retain wealth.
Exactly. And would you say, first of all, should we go ahead and tell them what the topic is for today?
Yes, go ahead and tell them.
As you can, maybe the title might have given you away. Today we're talking about all things real estate. Everything to do with real estate. A very, very controversial topic. I think I saw it, you know, the IRS published a study.
Yeah.
You saw that what streams of income do millionaires have? They said almost all millionaires have multiple streams of income.
Yes.
One of the most consistent was real estate, alongside with, of course, investing in the stock market, things like that. It's such a staple investing stream, income stream.
You know why they have real estate as in their portfolio is because through real estate you can avert taxes and grow your wealth.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If you buy a real estate single family building, for instance, and you bought it for 200,000.
Yeah.
And over 1 year or two, let's say it appreciates to 300,000.
Yes.
You can do a 1031 transfer of that 100,000 to a new property, not paying the taxes on it.
Can you imagine that?
Or you can take a equity line of credit on it, which is debt. You don't pay taxes on debt.
You don't pay taxes on debt. Exactly.
You don't pay taxes on debt, and use that money to go buy a new property. Now, if you were going to sell that property and take your 100,000, you could pay capital gains on it.
True.
So it's one of the easiest way to transfer wealth or move money without paying taxes. And there's a whole lot you can write off through real estate.
A whole lot. When you say you mean in terms of taxes, when it
In
comes
terms
to
of taxes. In terms of taxes.
Is there any particular examples? Like, how much are we talking about here? When we talk about
I mean a whole lot of money. I know one-time past president, that paid just less than, how much now? Was it not less than $1,000 on his taxes because of real estate write-off?
Because of all the write-offs.
Legal real estate write-off.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's so smart. So being able to understanding real estate can be the difference between paying tens of thousands or literally less than 1,000
Losing money.
tax. Exactly. Losing money.
You know, Warren Buffett, we're digressing a little bit to taxes because real estate has a lot of tax benefits. Warren Buffett said he is paying less taxes than a secretary that earns way less than him.
Exactly.
Because he has a lot of things he can write off. But the secretary can't write off those things. So if you can find ways you can pay less taxes, you keep more money in your pocket.
More money in your pocket.
Yeah.
And also, with this being such a great thing, like we're talking about real estate, it's not only just being a place you can own, but increases your net worth, a great way to shield your wealth, a great way to reduce your tax bill. Why is it then that so many people, mostly in their 30s, 40s, don't even see buying a house as a possibility? Why is it not more in the zeitgeist?
The Bible says the lack of knowledge is the reason why God's people perish. What you don't know, you don't know. And you have to try to know what you don't know so that you know what you don't know. So you put in the work to know.
Okay.
That is why programs like these are important.
Yes.
There are folks that I've had clients over the years that didn't know they can buy real estate.
They didn't know they were ready.
They're not even ready. They didn't know, well, maybe the word ready, they didn't know they qualified to buy. They just counted themselves out that
automatically.
I can't do it because they didn't know. For instance, I had a lot of success in being a realtor or still being a realtor with folks that have the EAD document. I don't know if you know what the EAD document is. The work authorization document. You can buy real estate in the United States with an EAD.
Really?
Yes.
That is so
I had a lot of clients that bought through me having the EAD. They didn't know. I visited a church. I was invited. They had a men's program. And in the men's program, there was a session for real estate. And I was asked to come and do a presentation on real estate. At the end of that presentation, I know a bunch of folks that bought through me from that church.
Wow.
It's like the doors just opened. people now know, hey, I can buy. And I was able to walk them through the ABC on how to begin your journey of acquiring property. And most of them, I have one of the clients, someone there, they've bought the first house, they're thinking of buying the second one.
Wow.
In the same church within 2 years.
Within 2 years?
Yes, because of some of the things that was being told to them. And I hope that we can do the same here tonight.
Today. And with that, now the big question is, a lot of people are now asking themselves what you just said. How do you know you're able to buy? Like from a financial standpoint, when is the point where you could qualify or you can't qualify to get into real estate?
Okay, I would want us to approach it this way because when someone meets me that they want to buy real estate, I take them through certain steps to see if they are ready or when they will be ready or what they have to do to be ready or if they qualify or if they can buy.
Yes.
So I take them through, I think it's about 6 steps.
6 steps, that's perfect.
6 different steps preliminary steps. Do you have this? Yes. Do you meet this? Yes. What is this? If they give me those steps, I can tell, okay, this person is ready to buy, or we just need a little more work to be done to buy.
Exactly. Okay. So now, can we go through those steps?
Yes. Step number 1, the first thing I ask them is, what is your credit score?
What is a dangerous question for a lot of people are not happy with that.
What is your credit score? And we've done a series on all things credit.
Yes.
We've done a series on all things credit. So if you want to have much more details on it, you can go back, look for it. Now, about the credit score, the first thing I ask, what is your credit score? Because there are certain credit score that if you're below, you cannot buy. And your credit score speaks a whole lot about your integrity, financial integrity.
Exactly.
And that's what most lenders will first of all look. That, hey, is this person credit worthy? Because they want to borrow your money.
Exactly.
They don't care where you work. They don't care what you do. They don't care. They ask you, what's your credit score? Give us permission to pull your credit.
Exactly.
And if your credit is below 620, it makes it a little bit shaky. But the FHA guideline, if you have a credit score of 580, you can buy.
Above 580.
Above 580, you can buy. But most lender will not give you, they will not give you a loan if your credit score is below 600.
600, okay.
Yeah, so that's the FHA. The conventional is about 640. For you to be able to buy. Now, if an individual says, "Oh, I have a bad credit score," below, so that's where we need to start from. Yes. That is not a deal breaker.
Okay.
So we need to work on your credit. Why is your credit below 580? Why is your credit not up to 600?
Yes.
They will go in to look at it and see what maybe they have collections, maybe they have foreclosure, maybe they have hospital bills, maybe they have, their credit is all maxed up.
Yeah.
So the issues that we can fix those things if the person is willing. Yes. And I've had a lot of success helping folks to build their credit.
Yes.
So it's the first thing. Now, for a young person that has no credit or someone that has no credit, there are different ways they can begin to build their credit. One of the ways is, I was talking to my daughter the other day. I said, hey, you can take advantage of me and your mom to build your credit real good. Or you need to tell your mom to add you to one of her credit card.
Exactly.
All her history will all be transferred to you. So you won't spend that long time to build your credit.
Exactly.
So there are different ways. So, but the starting point for me, the first question I ask, what's your credit score?
Exactly.
If that's where we need to, yes. And when you tell me your credit score, I ask you also, on what platform are you seeing this? Some people use Credit Karma.
Yes.
They use the other They're not bad, but I don't subscribe to those. I prefer they use the main credit bureau, which has three:
Yes.
Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian.
Experian, yeah.
I prefer Experian more because with Experian you see a whole lot, much more that is in your credit. You see it. You can pull it up and you see what is actually going, and it's free. To sign up is free.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I ask.
That's the first. Just make sure that credit is there. And you said, let me just get this clear. You said that if it's a little bit, it's around that 580, 600 range, it's still workable to some point. So
there's some aggressive lender that can still lend you money to buy.
In that rate,
but most lenders will not do it. Because for your score to be 580, definitely there are issues there.
Exactly. Okay.
Definitely there are issues there.
Is there any benefits to having anything above from 640 to, let's say, 720? Is there any?
Because if you're in the lower part, they consider you a more risk, so your interest rates may be higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we significantly higher? Or
yes, compared to someone that is in the 700, 730, you know, it can be significant. 0.1% interest rate over 30 years can mean a lot of money.
$10,000s.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
It's tens of thousands.
Makes sense. So what is the ideal? What's the best scenario where it's like, okay, if you can aim for this, for the young people looking to buy now, credit score?
A good credit score is 700 and above.
700 and above.
When you're 700 and above, the lenders like you. 700 and above, that is not the best.
Yes.
730 is the best. If you have 730, you can't go any. You can. That's the best. That's it.
The best.
Though the highest credit score is 830, but if you can build your credit score to 730 and above, you have the best of interest rate.
Okay.
You have the best of. I mean, you are just the best. You are the best there. 730 and above.
You mentioned something. You said FHA and conventional. What is the main difference between the two?
FHA is a federal government guaranteed loan. Yeah, federal government insured loan.
Okay.
You know, so it may cost you more over the term of the loan.
Really?
Yes. Why the conventional is strictly a business loan.
Okay.
Strictly a business loan. That's why they require more credit score.
Credit score.
Than the FHA. The government is trying to make it okay so that everybody can buy.
You can buy a house.
You know, and we insure the loan. So to insure the loan, you have to pay mortgage insurance. Not the home insurance, the mortgage insurance, and it stays all through the life of the loan.
Really?
Yes, but for the conventional, when the home hits 20% equity, that can drop off. The mortgage insurance can drop off.
Exactly. Okay.
And the 20% can either come by reason of what you pay or the property appreciates.
Okay. Makes sense.
Either way, he gets to 20%. Yes.
You, in your experience, which one do you feel like people should aim more for, the FHA or the
Depending on where they are. Some persons may not be able to. Now, for the FHA, is a 3.5% requirement down payment.
Yes.
So if the property is worth $500,000, for instance, you have to bring out of pocket 3.5% of that, which is like $15,000.
Exactly.
Some persons may not have that much cash to bring down.
Exactly.
You know, but if it's a conventional, 500,000, the minimum is 5%.
5%
down payment, which is 25,000.
Exactly.
As against 15,000. You know, so that may inform why the person may go for FHA and not conventional because they don't have enough money to do down payment.
Exactly.
And with time, you can refinance it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but the starting point for me is your credit. What is your credit score? If you want to retain wealth through real estate, your credit score is important.
Exactly.
We don't have all the time to dive into how to build your credit score.
That video is there.
We've done it before.
We've done it before.
We did an extensive work on it.
I'm telling you.
All things credit.
Exactly.
And if you have questions, you can put in your questions. We can answer specific questions on credit. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing I ask is, how much money do you make?
Another big question.
That's most times folks don't want to talk about disclosing. But I say, hey, it's good you let me know. I can advise you. You know?
Are we talking post-taxes or pre-taxes?
Pre-tax.
Pre-tax, okay.
Yes, before tax.
Okay.
Before tax. Now, taxable income. Underline, taxable income. Taxable income.
Yes.
Now, it's in this, how much do you earn? I ask you, how do you earn your money? Okay. You know, is it a 1099 or a W-2? Now, W-2 jobs, incomes that are pre-tax.
Okay.
You know, you go to work, before they give you your pay, you know, they tax it. So that money is already taxed.
Exactly.
So what they use is a pre-tax, is a taxable income. 1099s are jobs that you do, they don't take the taxes off of it. At the end of the year, you go file your taxes, and you may say, oh, I spent XYZ in trying to get my business or in trying to do this, and what I have, my gross income was 100,000. After all the deductions, what is left is 40,000.
Exactly.
So the government tax you on the 40,000. So that becomes your income. So that's why it's called taxable income. Okay. Taxable income. So they're your tax on your income. So I ask you, how much do you earn? If someone tells me, for instance, that I earn $5,000, you know, and I want to live in a property that is worth $400,000, right there, I'll just let them know, though you have a good credit score, you don't make enough money to buy it.
To buy it. And with this, let's say if someone gets a great job, making a good amount of money, where they could qualify for this house now, do they have to wait to get their taxes for the next 2 years before going ahead with the purchase?
Okay.
Or it really depends on what you're making today?
Is what you're making today. They go with your current income. Now, it depends. Thank you for asking that question.
Yes.
Because if, for instance, someone that was working give me one profession there.
A dentist.
A dentist.
Yes.
You know, someone working as a dentist left the profession of dentistry and went to become an accountant.
Yes.
And I just started being an accountant for just 2 months.
Yes.
He cannot buy.
He cannot buy.
Yes, using the income of an accountant. Because he has not been in the field for long. They don't know how long he's going to survive in that industry. So some would say, let's see you work for 6 months.
Okay.
Because it's a change of profession.
Yes.
But if he was, for instance, a nurse and stepped up to become a dentist, it's still medical. But he had gone up.
Okay.
So even if he's working 1 month, they can use that 1 month income.
Oh.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense.
Or if he's a dentist, left this job and went to another job as a dentist,
yes,
they can still take the new job 1 month.
Makes sense. Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Because
yes,
it's the same field. It has history. Now, the guideline is that you must have 2 years work history.
2 years work in history in general or in that particular field?
In general.
In general.
You should be able to work 2 years uninterrupted.
Ah, okay.
So the algorithm they use is that if you are able to work 2 years uninterrupted, this person likes to work.
This person will not just quit.
Is not picking up a job to go get the house and go quit.
Exactly.
That's one. 2, if you have 2 incomes, they can still use 2 income. But there's a caveat to it.
Okay.
Now the caveat is if you have 2 income, you must be on both jobs consecutively for 2 years.
For both of them to count.
Yes, to be able to use two income.
Okay.
So that's when I'm talking about income, these are the questions I ask.
Exactly.
Do you have two jobs? Or if I say, oh, I earn $10,000. Okay, how do you earn $10,000? Oh, I work here, I work here. Oh, that's very good. How long have you been on this job? 6 months. How long have you been on this job? 2 years. They cannot use both jobs.
They can only use one.
They can only use one.
Wow. That is very interesting. Wow.
Yes.
But do you get to pick the one that they use?
You can, for instance, it's the same field,
Yes.
just like I explained, so they can use the higher one.
They can use the higher one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
The higher one.
That's
Now also, if you say you do one job and you earn $10,000, and I know this job don't pay that much, I may want to ask, do you do overtime? Yes. How long have you been doing overtime? 6 months. They cannot use your overtime income.
It also has to be for 2 years?
It has to be for 1 year.
For at least 1 year.
To get the average.
Exactly.
Of overtime. So the person may say, oh, but I make all this money. Why can't they use it? No. They believe if you can do overtime for 1 full year, that means you have a pattern of doing overtime. Overtime is part of your job.
Exactly.
It's consistent. Yeah. So because they're giving you loan based on what you earn. If you don't earn that money over time, there may be some problems.
And overall, these restrictions, do you see them as understandable or do you see them as restrictive?
If the lender wants to be sure that they're not giving a loan to someone that cannot pay.
They cannot handle that kind
handle
of...
it.
Yes.
So that's why they've put these things together to check those that can handle it. And two is when I'm talking of your income, that's when I tell you that you don't make enough money to buy it, because for FHA they will allow you up to 58% of your income for debt. Okay. So for instance, if the person earns $10,000, the maximum they will allow for debt is $5,800
every month.
Every month. If the person earns $10,000 every month.
Yes.
So for FHA, the most they can borrow you with all the other debt you have, which is my next question, is up to 58%.
Exactly.
While conventional can be 52%.
So that's even less. So they allow less debt.
It's tighter.
Because it's more business. This is not insured by the government. Makes sense. Apostle, our people are talking to us.
Let's hear them. Let's hear
what
from
our
them.
People are saying here. Greetings. Thank you so much from Pastor Easy. Thank you so much. Sister Becky, yes, thank you, Lord. Brother Daniel says, thank you, Lord. Sister Dami says, hallelujah. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Always a blessing from Kasawan. Pastor Obuke says, all things real estate. Wow. Thank you so much. Olivia Food Services. Hallelujah. Freedom. Hallelujah. Thank you. Sister Rachel says, blessed to be here. Blessed to have you. Thank you. Maro says, hallelujah. Grandma says, hallelujah. Freedom says, building your credit score is one of the smartest financial moves one can make.
Very important.
Very important.
You know, there are some jobs now that even go to check your credit score.
Yes, I heard about that. They won't hire you if your credit score is below.
If your credit score is below a particular threshold.
And real quick, just 2 minutes, I promise this won't take from our time too much. What do you say to people that are thinking of changing the way credit scores work to make it more lenient or more representative of other parts of life, not just credit alone, not just debt alone?
Well, if you're depending on where you're looking at it from. If you're the one lending the money, it depends. That would inform what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're the one borrowing, that will inform what you want them to look at. At some point, rules can change. I've discovered that.
Yes.
I've been at the other end and at this end now.
Yes.
Being an employee and an employer.
Exactly.
So you see things differently. Your approach is different from being an employee.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
so it
yes.
depends on where you stand.
That would affect you. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me see. What for you personally? Should it change?
Huh?
Should it change? You personally?
Let's progress.
No comments. But Taiwo says, I've seen cases of home buyers consulting credit repair agencies to remove some items in their credit history and increasing their credit score because they want to buy a home. How legal is this, please?
I don't know if it's legal, you know, but people do it. But most times they mess you up.
Really?
I speak from 2 clients that I dealt with. One of them had paid a lot of money to get their credit repaired. Now, what some of these companies do from this particular client of mine,
yes,
I was able to help him. He had a foreclosure. He had bought his own home. He had so many things. Repossession. We're able to work on it. He's living in his home. Now, he was paying this agency to fix it. What they do, they ask you to pay maybe $200 every month.
Okay.
And they go behind to go negotiate with the company to see if they can settle it. Why that is going on, you are not, because they tell you to stop making payments. You are not making payments. They've not settled it. It keeps reporting negative every month on your credits, and it's bringing your credit score down.
Exactly.
So if it takes them 6 months to negotiate it or nothing happened for 6 months, you've gotten negative credit reports.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to settle it. That's one way. 2, what they're trying to do is to consolidate the debt.
Exactly. Make it into one
big thing and just be paying. Why that is going on, they are paying themselves.
They're taking their own money.
They're paying themselves. Wow. So I don't subscribe. You can do it individually. Personally. You can do it personally.
Exactly.
You can do it personally.
Not to use all the agencies.
You can do it personally. I mean, this client of mine, 2 of them, one had his credit score 535, I will not forget. Bought a home worth 670,000.
God bless.
Built it. We worked on it. She was diligent. The other one, man, his wife was on top of it. She can advise anybody on how to build credit now.
Wow.
From nowhere, we worked on it. We were able to open a new credit card so that we have something positive reporting into it.
Yes.
And we were able to build it from there. And the score became 670 something. Wow. From 400 and something.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yes, from 400 and bought the house. Had a foreclosure.
And bought the house. Wow.
You know, foreclosure, they say within 7 years you can't do anything. Bought the house 2.5 years after foreclosure. These are some of the knowledge some persons don't have that makes them think they cannot buy.
That is a serious resurrection. That's a lifting up.
Yes, it was a very good one. I feel very, very happy for
them. That's amazing.
That family.
That is amazing. People, you see, this is all coming from people. Thank you so much for those comments there. Thank you. And as we're moving to that next point, we have a couple of other comments. It says, amen. Glody says, great information. What habits lowers your credit score?
Okay, I promised I was going to answer specific questions on credit. Exactly. This is a series, so we can spend some time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we'll do a good job. There are 5 things that impact your credit score. When the credit bureau, they want to rate your credit, they look at 5 things. Number 1, that affects your credit score the most is late payment.
Late payment.
That is almost 35% of your credit score is late payment. So if you pay your bills on time, you have saved 35% rating of your credit score. Now there's what they call due date and reporting date.
Okay.
Take your credit. If you have a credit card, for instance, let's use credit card. Call the company. Ask them, what is my due date? Your due date is usually on your envelope,
Yes.
whatever they send to you, but the reporting date is not there.
Exactly.
Now, the reporting day is the day the credit company, the company you took the credit from, reports it to the credit bureau. This is important because if you pay after the reporting date, though you pay, they will report what you have not paid.
Exactly.
And that will show the amount, that high amount. Your utilization.
Exactly.
That is also one of the things that affects your credit. So you want to know, you want to take time, call them. They will tell you, hey, what is my reporting date?
Exactly.
So you set your payment before your reporting date.
Exactly. So that you can be very low, very accurate when that time comes.
So that is one of the main things that affect credit score. Then utilization. I advise my client, for the purpose of building your credit, don't spend more than 10% of your credit limit.
Exactly.
For instance, if you have $1,000 in a month, I will say don't spend more than $100. That is 30%.
30%. Okay.
So if you pay on time and you don't spend that much, 65%
of your credit is already
taken care of.
Exactly.
It's already taken care of. Then there's what they call when you have different form of credit, not
Diversity.
just credit, not just credit card. You have credit card, you have car loan, you have home loans. That is 15%. Longevity of the credit, 10%. You know, that adds up to the 100% you have. So if you can just do these things, with the purpose of I want to build my credit, you can do that.
And it won't. When it becomes a habit, when you start doing it, it just becomes automatic.
Yeah,
it just becomes automatic. That's amazing. That was amazing. Let me make sure since we're going through this. Okay. So much information. So there's an OK's Nation. Thank you. Freedom says, what are mistakes that reduce your credit score?
Yes, that's what we just answered.
Exactly.
If you go against some of those things.
If you do the opposite of what
you don't pay on time, you use too much of money, those things can affect your credit score.
And that's what will lower it, exactly. IK says, I have a question about commercial real estate. Can you please help me break it down? Triple N lease.
Okay, so the triple N lease, this is, that is very tricky and can get a lot of folks in trouble. The triple N lease is a lease where, for a space like this, you rent a place. They tell you is $8 per square.
Okay.
So if you have 1,000 square feet, that's $8,000 for the purpose of maths. Okay. You understand? That's not realistic. Depend though where you're renting from. Okay. So $8,000 for rent. Okay. But they now tell you there's a triple net. So the triple net is for common space, for instance. Okay. That pays the taxes. You understand? That pays if they have common water. We used to own a lease from a property that had triple net. The triple net is when there's problem with the roof, that's where they fix it. Where they keep the compound clean, that's where you pay for. They don't know the cost of those things.
Exactly.
They don't know the cost. So at the end of the year, they estimate something. At the end of the year, the landlord comes and says, this is how much we spend. Our taxes went up. This happened. This happened. This is the total amount. They will now break it according to the square footage.
Wow.
Yes.
So add it on top
of your 8,000. That's the triple net.
That's the triple net. Wow.
So if you can get a lease that is not triple net, you know exactly what you're paying. I hope I answer your question.
I think because I understand it as well. So I think.
I answer your
question. Feel free to ask any more questions about that.
If you need more clarity, just ask me.
Go ahead and ask. Okay. Thank you for the question. Okay. Nelson said, I'm new in the States. Do you advise I get a credit card now or wait till I get a good job?
Get a credit card now if you can. Because waiting till you get a good job is just you're just losing time.
Exactly.
If you can get a credit card now, when we did our All Things Credit, we talked about the different ways you can get a credit card.
Yes.
But be disciplined, like I said. The purpose of the credit card, the purpose of the credit, can someone help me turn off this fan? It's blowing into me. The purpose of the credit card is not for you to survive on. It's for you. It's an emergency something.
Exactly.
And it's what you can use to build your credit. For this individual that just came to the state, I think the purpose would be to build their credit. So I would say get it now. One of the ways you can get it is to get a secured credit card.
Secured line, yeah.
You can go to your bank and tell your bank and say, hey, I need to be able to build my credit. I understand the importance of credit. I'm new here, and I know nobody's going to take the risk on me giving me credit. You are my bank. Take this $500 from me and give me a secured credit on my $500. A secured credit is a credit where is your money actually.
Yes.
It's your money. It's your money actually.
Okay, exactly.
If you do it well, after 6 months, they make it unsecured.
Exactly.
They give you back your money. The liability is now on them, and they can increase your credit. It's one way to start building your credit. Or two, there are some very aggressive companies that are startup, but you pay through your nose. There's what they call maintenance fee. There's what they call yearly fees, but they bring you in the door.
Exactly.
You pay a lot. I think every month you pay almost $15. Yearly you pay almost $99.
Wow.
And they don't give you more than $400. If you want to, for the purpose of building your credit, you can start from there if you're very aggressive. If your bank don't give you.
If your bank doesn't give you,
you can do that. After 4 months of using that credit card very well, you see other company when they are reporting in that this person is paying, this person is paying, this person is paying, other company will come soliciting you that, hey, come take our credit.
Exactly.
And
then you can go for that.
You can go for that.
What do you? One more thing on credit. What do you say to cards, particular cards that charge yearly fees? It's very, like we talked about, credit age plays a big part in your credit score. So when you close a card, it can
10%,
exactly.
Can your credit.
When you get a card that you're paying yearly fees for, like the $99 you're talking about, after 10 years, I paid that card $1,000.
You pay that card over and above.
Exactly. So what do you feel about credit card fees?
So if the person is not informed, they can suffer. So if you have such a card, just keep it for 6 months. Keep it for 6 months. When you have 2 other different cards that is reporting, you can drop it. It's just going to affect you temporarily.
Yeah.
But if it's way longer, like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years before you drop it, man, you will take a uppercut. A very big blow.
Exactly, to your credit.
So the sooner you drop such a card, when you have other card, the better for you. And when your credit is really good, there are cards out there. If you have a 730 credit score, they'll give you 0% 1 year.
Spent. No
0%
interest.
1 year, no interest. 0% 1 year, no interest. No annual fees. No monthly maintenance fees.
Cash back.
Cash back. All those good stuff.
Exactly. That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me make sure our people.
Yeah, this is not all things credit.
This is not all things
real estate. It's just one of the things you need. It's the number one question I do ask.
Our people are thanking us. Good information. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the questions. Keep any questions coming, any comments coming as we continue to move here. Yes. Back to real estate.
You say, with my husband funding my account.
Yes.
I don't understand what she really means. I don't understand what she really means. If she can, thank you, sir. Really appreciate.
Yes.
With my husband funding my account.
So I'm guessing without the job.
Is the person without a job.
So the husband is
the one funding.
Exactly.
Yes. So if the husband is the one funding your account, you remember I said it's taxable income.
Exactly.
It's taxable income. If there's a way you can make that money your husband is giving to you taxable. instead of just giving it to you, if he can be paying you for a service
Yeah, paying you for
and you
example.
pay the
Exactly.
taxes on it, that can count. I don't understand the question
Oh, okay.
very well, but I'm just assuming that it was
Oh, that's is the same person I was asking about the credit card.
the same.
Getting exactly.
Yes.
to
So,
get
yes. Let's keep going so that we understand for you to be able to buy real estate.
Real estate, exactly.
Because I know someone that makes a lot of money. You know, they have a lot of money. The husband, I don't know the case of this sister, the husband
Yes.
is outside. She's in here. They don't have social to buy
yes.
because one of the things down the road to be able to buy.
Yeah.
Because the funding company, they want to be able to tie it to somebody.
Exactly.
And it's through your social they can tie it.
it.
But
That's
this
what ties
individual was able to start the process because we didn't use her in here. It's a man. The wife was outside.
Yes.
We used the wife outside of the country.
Wow.
Because she had a very, very good job. Very good job. So she's going to be the one to buy it from outside the country as an investment property. But that would mean that you have to put 35% down payment.
Wow.
A minimum of 35% down payment. That's what you have to put down. And they will use your job. There are companies here in the United States that give loans to such persons.
Exactly.
Because they know they will not lose. If somebody already paid 35% down, if the person
35%.
defaults, they repossess the house, they can easily sell it and recover their money. But they are not all companies do that.
Exactly.
So there are particular companies that will do that. So if you know you don't have a social year, but you have money to buy, you can still buy. I have a particular client, I think I'm managing 2 of his properties. He has never been to the state.
Never.
He has never been to the state, but he has 2 properties here. Bought it legally.
Exactly. Never been. He already completed 2. Has more properties than some people that are living in
He has
one and
never
lived.
been to the state. His idea of buying property here was he wanted to keep his money in hard currency. You know, real estate is a very good thing to retain wealth.
Exactly.
If you understand it.
Exactly. Have you ever seen a property depreciate? We always talk about appreciation. Have you seen a property lose money over time?
We've seen, yes, with properties do lose money. I was talking with someone today.
Yes.
A mutual friend connected us, and she had bought a property in a distressed neighborhood. The neighborhood is a neighborhood where, for some reason, the owners abandoned those properties.
Really?
And so they all went for tax foreclosure. You know, so people go buy it.
Yes.
People go buy it. Now, real estate there, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 500,000, just for example.
Yes.
But because of the numbers of foreclosure there, the property value has depreciated.
Exactly.
You know, it has dropped. And there are different reasons why that can happen. In Texas, during the COVID period, when the interest rate was low, properties just went
in price, exactly.
Yeah. But this year, because they've slowed the purchase of properties and people sold at lower price, some of those properties came down a little bit. Now, builders had to bring their price down to be able to attract buyers. Maybe a year ago, they were selling for $600,000 on a particular building.
Yes.
But now they have to sell at $550,000 to be able to attract buyers because of the interest rate. So you see, for that reason, properties are depreciated.
It's kind of a yin and yang, relationship.
Yes.
When would you say the best time to buy is?
Well, if you understand, for me, depending on what you're looking at,
yes,
I still believe this is a good time to buy real estate. I say it's a good time to buy real estate because, just like I explained, a property that was $600,000 is $500,000 or $550,000 now. So there's a $50,000 difference, depreciation. Now, though the interest rate is high, so you probably will be paying almost the same amount that you were paying when the property was 600,000.
Yep.
But this is the caveat. With the interest rate, after 6 months, if the interest rate comes down, interest rate is about 7% now. You know?
Yes.
If the interest rate comes down to 4%, it's almost half the interest rate you'll be paying. That means your mortgage would have come down.
Yes.
But you cannot reduce principal. So if you wait when interest rate comes down to 4%, guess what will happen to principal? To go back up.
Exactly.
You understand? So
Yes.
it's your decision what you want to wait for. You know, you want to buy now where the principal is low and wait for interest rate to come down, because interest rate will come down, I believe.
Yes.
This is the federal government trying to curb inflation.
Exactly.
That's why they took it up, to slow purchasing power.
Exactly. And I think they have been kind of effective. with
Yes,
that.
they've
Come
been
down
very
really
effective.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. We got all the way to step 2. Are we ready for step 3?
Yes, I think we
Yes.
still have some questions coming in.
Yes. If they will let me connect to our people here.
Yes.
Exactly.
Pius, it's 7:52 already.
It's 7:52 already.
My. Okay, let's just answer this question.
So then.
It's all things real estate. We'll have a part 2 next week.
Exactly. Okay, so our person here, okay, Nation said they were clarifying it was about the credit card question. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
if your husband is funding your credit card, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
taking care
okay.
of.
You are
Exactly.
good. You are very good.
Taken care of. That makes sense. Pastor Isi says, I think she means that since she has no job yet, her husband can fund the account that she needs for the secured line with the bank, like we have discussed.
Yes,
Makes
that's
sense, makes
fine.
sense. Exactly. Extraordinary Home Care says, USDA rural development loans is trending in the news. Anything?
Yeah, so what that loan is trying to open up rural areas, so they are incentive.
Okay.
Yeah, the USDA loan sometimes it can be 0%. Most times it's 0%.
0% interest.
Down payment.
What, the
Down payment,
payment?
not 0% down payment.
Go
These are special loans.
Okay.
It's not everywhere. Rural, that means rural. Now the reason why they do that, they're trying to open up rural area to attract people to come in there to come buy properties. So if you see somewhere that is 0%, you would want to go there.
Exactly.
You know, because instead of you putting down 5% down payment, you don't have it. But you have the score. You have the income to support it, but you don't have the cash for down payment. You go there.
So, Apostle, will we be seeing you in any rural areas? Are we going to expect to see you in any rural areas?
No, not soon.
Not soon.
Not soon. Because rural area, is rural, so some of is growing. So you may not have some of the things that you have in the city.
Exactly, in the rural areas.
In the rural. So there's a price to pay.
Exactly.
For it.
You're not paying the down payments. You're paying. We're not going to Walmart. It's kind of that.
Yes, there's a price to pay.
Exactly. No CVS down.
But because of the rise, why it's trending in the news now, is to look at rent, the cost of renting. A 2-bedroom.
2-bedroom.
In an urban area. That money
2,000.
will buy you a house in the rural area.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
And you're building equity there.
That's
So one of the things I advise my clients, what's the reason for buying real estate? Is it to get out of paying rent, or to build equity, or to retain wealth? Different reasons.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You have to find your reason, and then it will direct
You have
where
to
you
find
go.
a reason why you're doing it.
Makes sense. We have another comment. Sister Olabisi says, "Sir, are you saying someone can get property in the U.S. without residing here?"
Yes, and capital, yes.
Yes.
I manage a property right now. Never been in the U.S. Yes, and capital, yes. Not even paying full. If you pay full, you can buy it.
Exactly.
If you want to fund it, you can buy it. But the funding is 35% minimum.
Do they charge more interest for those particular kind of loans?
No, the interest rate is pretty high.
Really?
So most people that do that, they don't pay the normal payment. They pay bulk payment to get it out quick, so that they can save a lot on interest
Interest
rate. But
rates.
you can pay the normal payment, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can pay the normal
Payment.
payment.
It will
Yeah.
just be more.
So yes,
more
you
interest,
can
yeah.
buy a property if you've not been here. There are people that want to, like I said, that my clients, the sister had bought through me,
Exactly.
and the sister was very impressed and told the brother that, hey, you can deal with this guy, and we were able to find a lender that would do it. And we bought the first one. Everything went well. Everything is going well. And he said, hey, I can do another one. He wanted to pay off the first one.
Yes.
So the lender advised him, instead of paying off the first one, use this money to buy another one. So he bought another one. And he's thinking of buying something even bigger. Trying to buy a gas station right now.
Whoa.
Has never been in the U.S.
Has never stepped foot in the U.S.
He signed the paper. No, I didn't sign for him.
Yes.
He signed. The documents were sent to him over there.
Wow.
And I think the first one, he had to give the sister power of attorney
Exactly.
to sign. Yeah, but he had to. He signed his document in his name. In his name, not in anybody, in his name.
Exactly.
The
Without
deed
being
is in his name.
That's amazing. Wow. And then buying a gas station.
Yes.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
That's the thing about real estate. It's such a expansive topic. It's not just about homes and houses and.
Okay, she asked us
so
what
many
is going to
commercial
be the
properties.
source of payment.
And then what
Now,
will
so
that
this,
be?
let me use this, my client. The source of payment, the house he had bought,
Yes.
the rent is paying the house.
The rent is paying the house, it's paying for the mortgage
He's paying
payments
for
and
the
everything.
mortgage. He's paying for the mortgage. He's paying for everything. And it has a little change. And I'm being paid from it too.
Wow. Exactly. For both of the properties.
Yes, both properties are paying themselves. There are tenants in it. They're paying themselves. But if there was no tenant in it, they have to be bringing money from wherever
Yeah, exactly.
to be paying the mortgage. Otherwise, they'll foreclose on it.
And how is that dealing with tenants? People complain about that, being a landlord, being a tenant.
It's
What's that like?
challenging because the single family, the residential lease is different from the commercial. The residential lease is structured in a way that if there's a toilet blockage, it's the responsibility of the landlord.
Exactly.
If there's AC is not working, it's the responsibility of the landlord.
Exactly.
If there's a damage somewhere, it's the responsibility of the landlord. You know? So that's the challenging part, number one. Number two, if you have a bad tenant,
Yes.
you know, that's why I said, depending on what spectrum you are, where you're looking at things from, whether as an employer or as an employee. Now, if you are a property owner that wants to lend, you want to know the credit score of the person. Very key. You know, and how important that is for the person.
Exactly.
You know, because there are some persons that will lease your home, and if they don't pay, you know, and they don't care about their credit and stuff like that, they can stay in that home going through the process for 4 or 5 months. I had a property that a friend of mine bought in Chicago, Illinois.
Yes.
And we leased it out. And the lady came one time, pleaded, I don't have money, my husband is this. First month didn't pay, second month didn't pay. She promised she was going to pay. She had a program which she was going to use to pay. At the 7th month, she started something. She started, there are bed bugs in this home. And with that, she made away with 7 months of rent. She just came that not to pay the 7 months she has been pleading not to pay. So what we would have done, we would not have treated her as, okay, I know you. We would have just said, first month, we start the eviction process and get her out.
Exactly.
You know, she didn't have a good credit. She didn't have a credit. The property was leased on the ground of, okay, I know who sent you. I know you work, you will pay.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
So those are some of the challenges with residential. Why commercial, you know, is in an how do they say it now? Everything within is your responsibility. The toilet clog, your responsibility. AC break, your responsibility. Anything that gets wrong within, your responsibility. If it's outside, we'll deal with it. If it's on top of it, we'll deal with it. But anything end to end within is your responsibility.
Can you imagine?
Yes, commercial. And
So
if you
different.
default, I just go to the court, go get an eviction notice. In less than 1 month, you are out. But residential, you can't just kick the person out.
Yeah. To avoid homelessness.
Yes,
That is so interesting. Apostle, we're already over time. We have not even we have not been here for an hour, but it's over an hour.
Time flies.
Time flies.
But this is all things real estate.
Exactly.
You know, we're going to sit here for some time because it's too wide.
So broad.
Yeah, so broad.
But so important as well.
Very, very important. And one of the things before we finish this, you know, is to begin to talk about second home,
Second homes.
investment properties.
Should we get them to start saying the good jobs? Should we start
Yes,
getting our good jobs?
let's get the good job. Let's bring
get
the
our
good job.
As we're
Okay,
talking
who's
about
giving
this.
us good jobs? Let's count. How many do we get today now, Pius? Let's do 10 so that we can get out of here. I think this is pretty good, so we can get 10 good jobs
10 good jobs.
very quickly.
Oh, yes. Well, Apostle, as I bring in the good jobs and you are saying second homes.
Second homes, let the good job come in. You know, I had a neighbor some 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, that really, over time, I caught the vision of second home. You know, after a while, I didn't see her in the neighborhood anymore, but she was my manager in the bank. So I ran into her. I said, "Hey, neighbor, what happened? I've stopped seeing you." She said she's Caucasian. She and her husband. I use that word Caucasian because I deliberately use that because they have information. They know how this thing works. She was way younger than me.
Wow.
Way younger than me, but she knows how these things work. She said, "Hey, oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. We've moved to our new home." I said, "Oh, new home? That's really good." He said, "Oh, that's what we do. Every 2 years, we buy a new property. Every 2 years, we qualify for first-time home buyer, which we'll discuss who a first-time home buyer is."
Exactly.
So every 2 years. So thinking about it, if they've been doing it 2 years, I don't know how many they've bought before we met.
Yes.
20 years ago, at least if they were consistent, they would have had 10.
10 homes.
10 homes.
Exactly.
10 homes. They are millionaires.
Just based on real estate alone.
They may not earn a lot,
Exactly.
but just understanding it, they are millionaires. Not in 2 million, at least in the 5 millions. Their assets.
Exactly. Just in that network.
Just doing it every 2 years.
Exactly.
Then-
I don't. So many other questions can come into there.
No,
like,
let's count our good
let's
job.
count our good jobs first
Let's
before we
count our
start
good
going.
jobs so that we can. It's all things real estate.
All things, yeah, exactly.
And it's going to be good.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and check our good jobs here. Good job. Okay. Hallelujah. That's good job. As it says, we have another one that's 2 from Grandma, 3 from Okewe. Sister Laura says good job 4. Edwana says good job 5. Maro says 6. Sister Glow says good job Pius and Apostle, of course. And then 8. We have 8 good jobs. Exactly. 8. We have 2 more. We need 2 more good jobs, please, everybody. Just to say thank you.
What is first-time home buyer? We'll start from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll start from there next week.
Questions are even still
Yeah.
coming.
What is a first-time home buyer? Is interesting when you
It's
know
very interesting.
a first-time home buyer. It changes your down payment. A first-time home buyer and the criteria that qualifies you as a first-time home buyer. Yeah.
That's because when you say it first-time home buyer, but you're buying a house every 2 years,
Yes.
but you're always qualifying for a first-time home
Yes.
buyer.
So there's a law, there's a rule that allows you to qualify for a first-time home buyer when you go buy another home.
Exactly.
Now the first-time home buyer makes you qualify for the 3.5% interest rate, down payment,
Yes.
or the 5%. If you are not a first-time home buyer, you are considered, first-time primary resident. I'm sorry.
Okay.
First-time home buyer and primary resident.
Yes.
The primary resident is what I'm talking more of.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it. Yeah, first-time home buyer and primary resident.
Yeah, different. The questions are already loading themselves up for next week.
Loading themselves.
Exactly.
We've got our good jobs.
We got the good jobs. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Praise
so much for being there with us. We appreciate it. Thank you. We can't wait to see you next week for another Asian Family Matters. Any last messages for them for the week?
See you next week.